All right, welcome to Nick's Right Podcast. We're actually trying out a new studio today. As you can see, it does not look the same. One of these things is not the same. One of these
As the
things
other.
is not like the other. And what we're just trying to find a new home because our rates are actually going up in our other place.
I like this place though. I mean,
this
as
isn't bad.
like a test drive, I think this is kind of nice.
As a test drive, I'm liking it so far. And
Yeah.
this is a lot more hands-on for us. I keep looking at the screen because we can actually see ourselves being recorded. So it's a little weird. So if I'm looking at the camera, when it comes to the new spot, we just need somewhere where it's going to be a lot cheaper rate, and I'm already doing all the back end stuff anyway. Anyway, welcome to Nick's Right Podcast, where Nick is always right. We want to go ahead and get our sponsors tagged. Patriot Mobile, baby. If you have a cell phone service that is Spectrum Mobile, Mint Mobile, Visible, any of those really, really cheap services that say, oh, we go off of the Verizon network, man, and yet you're paying $25 a month, but you notice that your service is stupidly stupid, that I'm just going to say, I know why. And I'm so glad that we're with Patriot Mobile now, because you can actually have multiple networks on your phone. But here's what they don't tell you in those other companies. The reason why they're so inexpensive is because they pay for a very low importance on the cell towers, and that's how they're able to give a very cheap service. So if I had to give an example, guess who has the highest importance on the cell towers? In other words, they get the best signal first out of anybody else. It's first responders. First responders get that. That'll be like that across the board. Guess who gets the second importance?
Teachers.
No. That's actually a good guess, because other people have guessed that.
Professional athletes.
No. That would be stupid if that was true, dude. No. The people who get the second most importance are Fortune 500 CEOs. Like, they get second importance right below first responders.
Right below first responders, really.
So if you're a Fortune 500 CEO, you get like the best service out there other than what the first responders get. So Patriot Mobile has actually brokered a deal with Verizon Network, AT&T Network, and the T-Mobile Network to where you get the same importance as Fortune 500 CEOs.
Oh, wow.
And you can have multiple networks on your phone if your phone allows that.
So if you are a $30,000 millionaire, boom, Patriot Mobile, baby. That's the way to go.
Oh, are you saying that sarcastically? I was like, 30,000, that's not $1 million.
Yeah.
So
have you never
Patriot
heard that
Mobile,
term?
if you want to try out Patriot Mobile, bring your own device, put in the code NRP, so Nick's Right Podcast, NRP, to get your first month free. Also, you can go to patriotmobile.com/NRP and sign up there, and it'll get you your free month. Spectrum sucks, just saying.
Rock and roll. Rock and roll.
I'm like this, I don't even know what to say, but I am such the person to speak against Spectrum Mobile any chance I get. Okay, that's our first sponsor. Our second sponsor, brand new sponsor, LIVV Audio, baby. Look at this. LIVV Audio. These are a new style of over-the-ear headphones. These were created by the creator, Mark Clayton, former NFL player, also former Oklahoma Sooner star wide receiver, called LIVV Audio, LIVV Audio. And if you want to get these are premium headphones, $350 headphones.
They're designed specifically for the gym, for working out at the gym.
For movement, not just working out, but for movement.
They ergonomically hug your ears so that like
they look a little different. So whenever you put them on, the headphones are shaped a little different, but it makes it to where whenever you bend forward, it won't fall off. Okay.
Lay back on a bench press.
They tested out with a free runner. And that's how they came up with the name LIVV Audio, because the free runner, as he was doing all of his flips and running, he said, man, I just feel like I can live.
There you go.
And they came up with, now it was LIVV. Yeah, it was LIV first. And then Mark Clayton got a cease and desist letter from the LIVV club, nightclub that's out in Las Vegas, because they have several of these, and they spell it LIV. So as soon as he got that letter, he had to go to, re-register. He put an additional V on there. I thought that was a good story. If you go to livaudio.com, LIVVaudio.com, put in the code NRP, and you get a 10% discount off of these premium headphones. Yeah, I love them. I use them every day. I take meetings at the gym. Nick has a pair of his own he uses at the gym, and we're movie makers, so we get in a lot of,
Exposure.
No, not exposure. We get on a lot of meetings together, and one time we took a selfie because we were both in the same meeting on Discord with our headphones on. So
And
great
that
headphones,
picture
by the
ended
way.
up in the orbital satellite
I don't know
because
what
it's
that
awesome.
means. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there's our sponsors plugs. Probably the best two sponsors I think any podcast could ever have.
Yeah, and be sure to catch the last episode where we had Mark Clayton on.
Oh yeah,
It was really good, and he gives
Really
he gives kind of a history behind how he created the headphones and why he created the headphones.
Yeah.
All that good stuff, and all the stuff that he had to go through to make them and market them.
They're really
get 'em
cool
out there.
too,
and they're cool. Yeah, they're
one of the
actually
things
cool
that
headphones.
I didn't know about, and Mark. Whenever I brokered a partnership between Patriot Mobile and Mark Clayton and LIVV Audio, and they're actually going to try to come out with a new pair of audio headphones that are going to be the first of its kind. I'm not going to tell you about it, but I'm saying just stay tuned. But he did this, like someone else at Patriot Mobile was checking them out, they're looking at it, and then Mark reached over and did this. And I was like, whoa, what? So,
Meg.
I don't know if you've ever had Bose headphones, but to replace these,
Yeah.
it's a monumental task of like unscrewing screws and whatnot. And he made it to where it's just a magnet.
Yeah. It's kind of cool, man.
That's pretty sweet.
State of the art.
State of the art. Now we're going to get into the nitty gritty stuff, which is the political stuff that we all like to talk about. Right, Nick?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. Well, we're going to dive into the morning after pill. So we have had a lot of conversations about abortion. ABs is like what we like to call it. And life starts at conception. You have a very specific argument against pro-choice.
Well, it's not
that
me.
went
It's
pretty
not, well,
viral.
It's not my argument
Like,
against
it's-
pro-choice.
well,
it's science and biology's
Yeah,
argument.
I
against
understand,
pro-choice.
but the funny part is that it took you 3 minutes to explain it, which was pretty funny.
Well, okay. Well,
Give some context.
give some context to the theory
Yeah,
again. Oh, well, okay. If we're gonna go here again, why not? Give me about 3 minutes, and I'll explain it.
exactly.
Which is about as long as it took you to go through our sponsorship. So
It did take me a while.
yeah,
Just wait till we get like more sponsors.
always
Like
how
convoluted.
long-winded I am, but never you. Never you.
I went through 2 sponsors in 3 minutes.
Yeah,
2.
I know.
2.
That's like a. That's
I
like
said
a.
2. Sorry.
Why did you do that?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's like a Super Bowl sponsor commercial break for you. Okay, so life begins at conception. How do we know this? Because the 7 traits of life. Let me recall what they are. First of all, everything that is considered life or categorized as life on Earth that we know of has to have these 7 traits.
Wow. Another time. I can't tell you guys how many times we've been interrupted on the podcast because he doesn't understand.
Dude, I kid you not, man. This was on silence earlier.
It was not.
It
He
was.
doesn't understand technology, by the way. This is the one argument that we have that he just loathes technology. I guarantee it's not on silent now.
See, you say I loathe technology. I don't loathe
Yes,
technology.
you do. You've even admitted to loathing technology. Anyway, seven traits of life.
I don't loathe.
Yes, you do.
Oh, you're saying loathe? I thought you were saying love. Okay, so oh, yeah.
Love technology.
If you possess these, if a thing possesses these 7 traits of life, it can only be life. If it doesn't possess all 7 traits of life, it cannot be life. Like if it has 6 of these traits, it can't be life. What are those 7 traits? You got to have gaseous exchange, meaning you breathe in and you breathe out. And that can be on the nuclear level, as it would be with a single-celled organism. You have to consume food for energy. You have to excrete waste. You have to maintain your own homeostasis. You have to be able to reproduce by nature, and you have to be made out of cellular matter. These are the 7 traits of life. I don't want to get too long-winded because I'll hear it from the left over here. The left hand, the left side.
Side of the room.
The left side of the room, not the left, not left.
By the way, neither
Hill.
one of us likes to be called the left in any way.
Absolutely
We take
not.
it as the utmost insult.
Absolutely not. You want to watch his head explode real quick?
No. Let's
Watch.
No.
Oh, it'll happen. It'll happen. All right. So,
Anyway, that explanation got about 118,000 views on TikTok.
yeah, and most people loved it. Some people hated it.
Well,
Actually, it was probably split 50.
I think it was split 50.
Yeah.
We did a whole
Got a lot of
episode.
hate. A lot of hate.
We did a whole episode on just the comments.
Oh, and to finish off my point, if I may, when a sperm cell penetrates the egg cell and the genetic material is exchanged, It becomes what's called a zygote. We all know what a zygote is, and immediately it starts expressing all 7 of those traits of life.
Expressing.
Starts experiencing.
By the way, I want to get a pet peeve out, just because we're saying words that are bigger words. So many people say this word wrong, and it pisses me off. And it's a word that everybody uses. Everybody uses it.
Anywho?
No.
Because I don't like anywho.
No, not anywho. No, I say anyways. I don't say anywho.
Okay.
It's a word they say, and I've seen liberal left Harry Sisson say it. I've seen
Kamala.
No, I've never seen Kamala or Kamala, whatever you want to
call
Kamala,
it. Damn
it. It's Kamala, damn it. No, it's especially.
Especially.
A lot of them say expecially.
Especially.
And
that's true.
I just want to sit there and say it's especially, not especially.
What did that even come? Why did that
I don't
land
know.
in your
It
head?
just popped into my head. You said a word, and I'm like, I don't know why I just thought about that. But that'll
to be honest with you, it's not especially. It's especially.
It's especially.
Especially.
It's especially.
Spell okay.
You want to?
It's somewhere between e and e.
You want to go ahead and see who can be proven wrong or right here?
Yeah, sure. If you want to stray topics like that, but go right ahead, Nick.
Hey, chat. Oh, hey, chat.
Hey there. What's up?
Hey, man. How do you say the word especially?
Yeah, absolutely. You just say like especially.
Especially.
But that's clearly a Brit.
But it's not especially, right?
Exactly.
Says the British AI voice.
E sound at the start, but it's really just especially. So you're spot on with the way you're thinking about it.
All right, great.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah. Thanks, mate.
Anytime you need a little pronunciation check or anything else, just let me know.
Yeah, go get your car out of the garage. Why don't you?
Garage. I just had to say that. Okay, so we're getting back into the pro-life, pro-choice whole situation. We want to hit on a very specific topic, which is the morning after pill.
The MAP.
The morning after pill. Is the morning after pill abortion?
Is it?
Is it? Your opinion.
Well,
not
if
opinion,
we're just talking about blanket opinions, I would say that it is an abortion. But there's a lot of peel back I've got to give that in order to qualify it, because just taking the morning after pill does not necessarily mean you're aborting a child. It's only abortion if indeed within the 6 hours after conception and you take the morning after pill, an egg was actually penetrated by a sperm cell.
Right.
Therefore, did you know, dude? And they've caught this on like microscopic film technology. Yeah.
Yeah.
When a sperm cell penetrates an egg cell, there's like a burst of light, which science will explain away, and not incorrectly, as like sulfa being shed from is it sulfa? Something like that, being shed away microscopically from the egg. But if you believe like you do, you believe like I do, that's a divine thumbprint that begins the very first moment
of light. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the very first moment of human life. So I think that's kind of cool.
Conception. But get back to the
Conception. Yeah, if that happens, if that has happened and that burst of light has gone off,
yeah,
you can't take a morning after pill, man. You can't do
but
it.
There's no way to actually determine if you have conceived or not.
No, you can't. However, God knows. Jesus knows.
The question remains: is taking
yeah.
the morning after pill abortion?
Yeah, is taking it an abortion? Yeah, it is not necessarily abortion, but the wiser policy is to not do it.
I disagree. I think taking the morning after pill is abortion, because people don't take the morning after pill unless they've had sex and they're afraid of getting pregnant.
Right.
So they're aborting the pregnancy.
That's why people wear rubbers too, because
they're
having sex, so they're afraid of getting pregnant.
No. That's not the same argument. Because if you're wearing a rubber, the actual sperm doesn't get inside to penetrate.
But if there's nothing to abort, then how could it be an abortion? I'm not defending the use of the morning after pill. I'm just saying we don't know if it's abortion or not, so don't do it, because it very well could be.
Exactly. So therefore, if you're taking the morning after pill the morning after, And we even heard through ChatGPT, because ChatGPT knows all, that conception can happen within minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, but I believe it.
It can happen within minutes of having sex.
Okay.
So therefore, if you're taking the morning after pill, that means you're just making, I think the science is it detaches that egg, therefore it just can't fully develop.
Yeah. Well, that's what an abortionist's claspers do too. It just detaches the egg.
Exactly. So the
Yeah.
morning after pill is abortion.
Okay. I'm not going to argue that. I'm not going to argue against that.
Because it potentially can be in your eyes.
Nick,
Well, what I'm saying is it
if
is.
if a tree falls in the woods and there's no one around to hear it, does it make
No.
sound?
That's not the same argument, because it'll make the sound regardless if someone's there or not. Like, that's just how it is. It
Yeah.
makes a sound. Just because you didn't hear it doesn't mean it didn't make a sound.
Yeah.
It's just like some people say, well, I don't believe in hell. It doesn't matter if you believe in it or not. It doesn't make it not real. It is real.
Sure.
You know, just like when someone says, well, I don't believe in Jesus. I'm like, you don't have to believe in him for him to be true.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, by the way, there's no such thing as my truth. There's only the truth.
There's only the truth. Anybody that says my truth is to use an overused word in our society and culture, narcissist. They're just a narcissist, man. I mean,
just a narcissist.
Yeah, but
Anyone who says
so
my truth. They said because all they're trying to do is push their own belief.
That's right. That's
you
right.
know. And
Yeah,
people can
yeah.
say the same thing about Christian trying to push your own belief. Like when it comes to the LGBTQ or the alphabet community, they're like, you're trying to push your own belief. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so glad we're talking about this. I just transitioned myself into this. You cannot be gay and a Christian. Because I had someone message me when I'm doing this whole series on New Mexico and the corruption in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Have you, dude, like I'm going to be doing like a 20-part series on New Mexico and the corruption that's happening in New Mexico.
I think that's awesome. Yeah. I saw
Anyway,
your first 2 episodes on that.
There's
two?
3. Well, actually,
Three?
technically there's 5. But someone had messaged. I told everyone, DM me if you live in New Mexico. If you have a story, let me know. I will get it out there as much as I
Yeah,
can.
there's a lot of stuff going on out there.
Well, someone messaged me and said that I had all this stuff happen to us. I've been on all these podcasts, and I'm a gay Christian conservative. And I'm like, you can't say I'm a gay Christian.
Okay, so I'm going to challenge you on that. Not that I disagree.
I know you don't disagree, but you have to have the devil's advocate. So, and I'm glad you are. So let's go.
Okay.
Because I don't know why I want to talk about this, but it's a pet peeve of mine, and I have arguments against it. Let me hear your counter.
So, and I'm curious to know what your answer is.
Okay,
because
good.
I honestly don't have an answer on this just yet. I think I'm formulating one, but it's
Okay.
going to take some soul searching and some
Okay.
Bible reading and stuff like that.
Sure.
So to say that there's no such thing as a gay Christian, wouldn't that be the same thing as saying there's no such thing as a sinning Christian?
No. So you can't claim something that you continue to do. In other words, if you're choosing sin before you choose Christ, and when you call yourself a gay Christian, you're saying I'm gay before I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
And you can't do that. Now, are there sinners saved by grace? And then they become absolutely. Do Christians struggle with sin? Sure. But you are not a gay Christian. You are a Christian. Now, everyone's going to, or you're a Christ follower. Everyone's going to have struggles, and everyone's going to have a thorn in their side, just like Paul did. It's not going to be the same with everyone. Like what I struggle with is not what you struggle with. Okay. And what someone who used to be homosexual struggles with homosexuality whenever they come out of that. Like whenever my brother came to know Christ, he had an addiction to something, starts with a P. I'm not going to say the word.
Pizza?
But you know what I'm talking about. He had a
Because if
corn-
that's a sin, then I'm a sinner too.
yeah,
'Cause I love me some
hang
pizza.
on. He had a corn addiction, and he met it head on. Like head on. He got accountability partners, and he tackled it. Like he wanted to nip it in the bud. He wanted to respect his wife when he came to know the Lord. It was a sight to see.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you say that you are a follower of Christ, but you're also gay, those two things that's kind of like me saying, well, I'm an adulterer. Like I cheated my wife, but I'm still a Christian.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you
No,
can't
that's
say
true.
that.
Yeah.
Like that means you have zero
Well,
conviction of your sin.
what that implies is, in order to get into the graces of God for that ultimate judgment, you can't have any sin.
No. That's where the grace of Jesus comes in. because he died for all those sins.
And I'm not making an argument suggesting we should all go out and sin and still get into
because that's
the
not
pearly
the way it
gates of
works.
heaven. That's not what I'm saying.
But
But I mean, I am a human being just like everybody else. And I know that the day I die, God willing, in 35, 40 years from now, I'm probably going to be a sinner of some sort, of some type.
you are a sinner saved by grace. Christ died once and for all sins, past, present, and future. So in other words, there are going to be future sins that you commit.
But not gay.
The thing is that it can be a homosexual act that you commit, but the difference is the conviction of the
And
Holy
I'm not
Spirit.
suggesting that I would ever go out and commit it. Go ahead.
Anyway, the difference is the conviction of the Holy Spirit. So if you say, in other words, if you stumble and fall into something that you struggle with, but you actively try to not do that, but you do stumble and fall into it, where is your heart? Is your heart convicted? In other words, the Holy Spirit is convicting you that you did something wrong and you need to seek repentance and forgiveness of that? Or are you like, that's just a part of who I am? I'm sorry, that's not a part of who you are. That's not how God made you. The biological design of man and woman did not design man and man. It was man and woman.
Sure.
In other words,
That's
just
God's
like,
design.
I mean, and
basically.
everything around us is designed male and female. It's not designed male and male.
No, you're absolutely
You can go
right.
all the way down to like the way your phone plugs in. This is female. The plug is the male.
Yeah.
And they even say like microphone. This cord is male. No, that's not right. The cord is female, and the microphone is male.
Yeah. No.
I could
I think it
unplug
would
it
be
and show
the
you,
other
but I'm
way
not going to
around.
do that. Anyway, it's all
That
designed.
fake tree behind you
It's all designed male and female.
is designed with male and female.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's the way that we design technology, the plug-in.
No, I get it.
everything
I
goes in.
understand.
It's all designed male and female. It's not designed male and male.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so stop using stupid arguments just to try to get your
Oh,
point
you mean
across.
like the microphone?
No, they actually call it male and female.
I know that, Nick.
Then that's not a stupid argument compared to your fake plant argument.
Why? Why? The fake plant is
There's
either a
fake
male
plant.
fake plant or
The
a female
fake
fake
plant.
plant.
There is no male and female plug-in. You
All right.
understand the kind of comment I'm trying to, or the point I'm trying to get across, and you're trying to make a stupid comment.
You see what happens every time we start talking about politics? We always end up talking about God. Why is that? I mean,
Because
they
you can't have your politics without your faith.
I was about to
used
say the
be
same
someone
thing.
who hated politics, and I was in ministry, and I'm like, I don't like being in the church because of the politics of the
Yep.
church. And now my life is politics because what happened in the 2020 election and the stolen election. I'm sorry, I'm not going to talk in code anymore. It was a stolen election. Trump should have won that, but it was God's divine order that they win that election because Trump had to weed out all the bad apples.
That's right. So you think that 2020 election was stolen?
There's so much evidence that points towards that it's just,
Well,
you
see,
can't deny it now.
I think that people today who say, no, it wasn't stolen, it was straight up, know in their hearts, in the back of their minds, the truth, which cannot be argued against
No.
or
They can
challenged.
argue against it, but they're arguing like a liberal.
Yeah, well, certainly. Well, even the Republicans out there and the conservatives who go, no, it was fair. It was fair. You know, it was fair.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. I don't
Yeah.
think it was. I think that was a ripping off, a complete and total undermining of our democratic systems
Yeah.
for the benefit of one party. In fact, I'll go even further, Nick.
Oh, here we go.
I think they tried the 2016 election.
I think they did too.
Absolutely.
And it
yeah.
made it too big to rig.
It made it too big to rig.
Yeah.
That's right. Because they didn't really know what all the rigging processes were. But
Yeah.
I think they tried, man.
Oh yeah. Well, they tried in 2024. Did you see that in Wisconsin?
Oh, sure.
Like it took another jump like it did in 2020, but it was so big on Trump's side that they couldn't.
They
reach
couldn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There were mechanisms were put into place through Congress and whatever else that barely allowed Trump to win the election against their cheating. I'm using the word cheating.
'Cause that's
And
exactly what happened.
if you want to disagree with that, then I have a question for you. In 2016, Hillary won with like 69 million votes, something like that.
One.
No. Hillary lost with 69 million votes and Trump got like 71 million.
Something like that.
Something like that. In 2020, Biden won with 81 million votes.
81 million.
That's
like,
12 million votes more. That's like more than 10% more
and then where did
than
all
we've
those
ever
votes go
seen
whenever
before.
Kamala?
Yeah, and that's exactly right.
Yeah.
4 years later, when the stakes were at their absolute highest for the left, Where did those last 6 or 8 million votes go? They just went. They
It
just
makes
decided
zero
not
sense,
to vote.
dude. Yeah.
You can't tell me they all swung over to Trump, because they didn't.
Yeah.
They just disappeared. You know why? Because mechanisms were put into place that were saying, no, we're not going to count that mysterious trunk full of ballots. We're not going to do it.
I don't think there was mechanisms put in place. I think they realized that they couldn't do it twice. Like, they did it once.
Oh, not me. I think they would do it 50
realized
times
if we
in a row.
do it twice, we'll have an uprising of conservatism, which that's what happened anyway.
I don't think
But-
they would care about that. I mean, they
I
were
see what you're saying.
hell bent on an uprising, regardless whether it was the right uprising because it got stolen again,
Yeah.
or what you see going on right now in Portland and Seattle. There's gonna be an uprising anyway by the what I now call the violent left.
The violent left or the terroristic left?
Well, the violent left, terroristic left,
I
whatever you
mean,
want to call it.
I'd rather call it terroristic left. But back to our original topic.
Yeah, so I will agree that the morning after pill may very well be or is a form of
Abortion.
but not quite like aborting a fetus that's 6 months in.
But that's the thing. We have to consider.
No, life is life, regardless.
Right.
I
the
get
severity, like it's still life that you're
that.
terminating.
But we know we're
I
terminating.
actually have a video that I want to play. I know. I'm sorry. And I had the video, so I'll show you guys on the screen, but we're just going to listen to it because of what's being said. And it actually talks about kind of spiritual warfare and this person who didn't necessarily have a lot of abortions, but she didn't know why she was being spiritually attacked. And she kept hearing the word murder. So I saved it. Hopefully, did I save it? Talk about something else, Nick.
Well, I developed. They're still talking about reparations, and I was watching a video the other day on reparations, and I
found it. Never mind. Here we go.
Well, I've changed my opinion on reparations, and I'm sure we'll talk about that in a minute.
So, like, when I do exorcisms, a lot of times people are like, "Well, I'm liberal." I'm like, "I can't do an exorcism." I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's like, there's no such thing as a liberal or a Christian who votes to murder babies. Like that, there's something
No such
wrong
thing.
with the foundation of what you're saying. And so when we get into it, I say, you know what, we'll do the exorcism. It's going to make your life worse, but you'll see what I'm saying. I'll just get the demons to tell you that abortion is murder and not your political opinion. And so I'll do them. 7 hours into one of them, this lady tells me, we keep hearing murder, all this stuff. And she's like, "I've never murdered anyone." I was like, "Do you ever have an abortion?" She's like, "Well, no." I was like, "Did you ever take a morning after pill when you thought you might?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, the demons think that that's murder. There was probably a baby conceived that you didn't know about and you murdered it." And she's like, her face just like turns white. I'm like, "I'm not trying to shame you or anything. Like, that's all covered by the blood of Christ. It's in the sea of forgetfulness. Don't let guilt and shame. As a matter of fact, if you let guilt and shame come in, we'll have to repent that too. So don't do that."
So I thought that was pretty interesting.
That is pretty interesting, yeah.
And I kind of want to move into the perspective of my girlfriend. I'm not going to tell you guys her name, but we had this discussion about the morning after pill because we've both been married before. Like, she has an ex-husband, I have an ex-wife. And I remember with me and my ex-wife, she was unaware of her cycle, and I came inside her because she thought she was in a different part of her cycle to where she wouldn't get pregnant. And turns out she was mistaken. And we had taken the morning after. She had taken the morning after pill one time before that, earlier in our marriage, and I just thought it was okay. Like I was very ignorant to what is going on. And I remember that one time whenever we had that, I guess you can call it accident. And then I was at the gym, and I told you whenever I was leaving the gym with my ex-wife at that time, I told you what we were about to go do.
Oh, yeah,
and you called me back in. He's like, "Bro, if we believe that life happens at conception," and that's all I needed to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out and I told my ex-wife, "We're not getting the morning after pill." And then she started researching, is this abortion? But I told her, I'm like, I don't care if whatever you find, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
You know, thankfully
she wasn't
pregnant.
There was
that was a blessing in disguise that she wasn't pregnant.
Yeah.
But then my current girlfriend, she had taken multiple morning after pills with her ex-husband, and she was arguing, no, like all it does is detach the egg. It doesn't actually kill a life. And I'm like, that's not true. And I had to show the research doing via ChatGPT that
Well, what else is it going to detach?
well, no, she thought
I mean,
that
of course it
conception.
detaches the.
Hang on, her argument was conception doesn't happen until 48 hours later.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're false on that. I'm calling you out. I'm not going to sit back in the shadows like I used to with all my other relationships. You are incorrect. And then I had to bring proof because, as a conservative, we bring receipts. We bring proof to show you
Imagine
you are
that.
wrong.
Yeah.
And so, and by the way, my girlfriend's highly conservative. Like she
Yeah.
voted for Trump. She's the only one that voted for Trump out of her whole family. She lives in California. So
Yeah.
like she has it bad when it comes to like having to deal with the left-wing rhetoric of her family.
Yeah.
But I showed her the receipts and ChatGPT said it could happen within the first couple of minutes or it could take a little bit longer than that. So you don't really know. And whenever I showed her that, she was very upset. She's like, "Oh my gosh, babe, you're right.
Yeah.
It's going to take me a couple of days to." And then later on, she thanked me because she really wanted to have. Because she said, "Nick, when we get married, I want to be able to enjoy you like for about a year before we start having kids." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." I was just telling her like my pull-up game's pretty spot on, so we're good to go there. She's like, "Yeah, but if you do, I want to take the morning after pill." No. We are not taking the morning after pill.
Well, see, okay, so here's
No, wait. In other words, I won the argument.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And
I
then she
understand that.
admitted that, yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
And then she had to like take a couple of days to really pray about it and take it in because she had just realized that she may have done exactly what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
And then she actually gave me permission to be able to talk about it on the podcast.
Oh, that's cool.
So
yeah,
it
it makes for good conversation because it's cultural,
Yes,
it's political, it's religious, spiritual,
bro.
biological. It covers the whole gamut.
It covers all of it. Yeah.
But here's the interesting thing about her original argument about how, well, it doesn't happen for 48 hours later. How biblical is she willing to be? Because,
Yeah.
I'm not saying her specifically.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just how biblical in general is a person willing to be? Because according to the Bible, in the book of, I don't remember.
Hang on. You want to get ChatGPT involved?
No, it's okay.
It's fun though.
All right, get ChatGPT.
What are you looking for?
The verse that says he knew you before you were conceived in the womb.
Oh,
and
I know that one. That's
sanctified
Psalm 139.
you. Is what?
Psalm 139.
It's not a psalm. I'm not thinking of. Now that may be repeated in the Bible, but this is is it Job?
Yo,
No,
chat. Where does it say in the Bible? Go ahead. Hurry up.
That God knew you before you were conceived in the womb and sanctified you before you came out of your mother's belly. Maybe I got that reversed. Maybe it's
No problem. You're basically referring to a verse from the book of Jeremiah.
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 Specifically, it's Jeremiah 1:5.
That's right.
It says
Jeremiah was a
something
bullfrog.
along the
That's right.
lines of, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you.
That's it.
Before you were born, I sanctified you. So that's the spot you're looking for.
Yeah, okay. So,
Thanks, chat.
yeah, thanks, chat. So, is it possible?
Always happy to help out. If you need anything else, just give me a shout.
You got it. You got it.
You got it.
You got it. So, is it possible to abort?
Dude, you just did. Is it possible?
Did I really?
You did.
Is it possible that the divine intention of have a child conception can thereby be intercepted by the morning after pill?
I think so. Yeah.
You sound like a redneck
Possibly.
trying to speak British. Yeah. So yeah, that's something to consider. So whether it happens 48 hours later or not, still kind of taking your chances with your soul there.
Well, I guess there needs to be another. What do you call it? There needs to be another study of the percentages of conceptions that happen within the first couple of minutes.
Sure. Yeah.
I think they can only study that by how they introduce the sperm and the egg together, and then they like
watch it happen.
Well, not watch it happen. They call it in vitro or something like that, where they can then put the egg back in the womb because it's
yeah, but that's not a natural process. I mean,
well, but it's still a study that they could do, like how quickly it conceives.
Well,
is what
by in vitro fertilization, sure, but by natural fertilization,
yeah,
it would be kind of hard. they're
I'm a
probably
little upset
comparable.
that you
But
call me a redneck trying to be British.
are you upset?
I can do British.
I'm sorry,
fine.
man. I've heard you do British before. It's actually spot on.
Thank you. Okay.
It's a little south of London, but that's
Hey,
good.
it's okay. As long as it sounds Londonish.
Whew.
Possible.
So,
yeah, you just went straight into your British when you're saying.
so reparations, dude.
Oh, are we done with the abortion talk?
I don't know. Are we? I think they've probably heard enough of it.
Well, okay. All right. I don't even know what reparations are, but I do know that Charlie Kirk talked a lot about it. So
Reparations
Yeah.
for Black Americans for slavery, paying them money
So
as
define to me what reparations are. I'm not highly educated on that. So
the argument for reparations is the argument that federal tax dollars should be allocated to pay Black American individuals as sort of a mea culpa or an apology for slavery. So, like, if you're Black in America, and because we have a slave past, which basically every nation on earth does,
you do understand that there were white slaves too, right?
of course, yeah,
Like
yeah.
not at the time that the blacks
But
were
that-
slaves, but
Not according to the argument for reparations. No, white slavery didn't exist. Irish indentured servitude didn't exist. Asian slavery didn't exist.
bro.
Only Black people, only Blacks in America were slaves. So you've heard the reparation argument. It's been going on for.
I have, but I wasn't educated on what. So you're basically saying in layman terms that reparations are a tax that we have to pay to Black people because of slavery.
Precisely.
Okay.
Precisely.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life. Are you saying that I've been paying that tax my entire life?
No, they want to.
Oh, you're saying
begin
they're fighting
reparations.
for that.
Yeah. They're
Oh.
always arguing for why aren't we getting paid reparations? Basically,
Well, my question to them would be, were you a slave?
that's exactly
Like,
the question.
That's
right?
going to be a no.
And yeah,
So why would I pay you reparations for something that you never experienced?
yeah, exactly.
Like, holy cow.
For 20 years, I have completely agreed with you, Nick.
Has there this is a good conversation. This is a good question I'm going to ask. Is there any remaining slave alive that used to be a slave?
160 years later, how could there possibly be?
Then that basically backs up our point.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so why are we paying someone who was never a slave?
Yeah. Not to mention the fact, why would we pay someone, or why would we force someone who's never owned a slave to pay
that's
pay reparations,
good.
right?
That's good.
That's-
Like, why would we pay someone who's never even owned, or for someone who's never owned a slave? Gosh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm liking this.
Yeah. Did you know that the illustrious Gavin Newsom over in California, he made his people pay reparations to Blacks? And the funny thing is,
Wait, so this is actually there in some spots there are people paying reparations.
as I understand it, he enacted that in California for a time.
But they're not doing it now.
I don't know. I would hope not. But here's the kicker. That's in California, which was not a part of the Civil War. And so it's like, why are you making white people in California pay Black people in California?
Gavin Newsom is the most
He is
such a
sick,
smooth talker, dude. Like, and when I say that, I just say that he knows how to just talk out of his ass.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
he knows how to make it sound like it's gold.
He the way he talks and the way he acts is absolutely perfect for how I would envision a politician from the state of California.
Oh gosh.
With Hollywood and
So he's complaining about Trump doing this whole ballroom construction.
well, hold on just a second. I'm not
Okay.
done yet.
Well, I'm going to make another argument against him because he's complaining about that, but yet he charged all of California taxpayer money to renovate the state capitol.
Yeah.
Like, but you're
that's funny.
and Trump is getting donors and spending his own money.
I don't think there is a controversy or an issue in which you can't find some sort of hypocrisy coming from somewhere
Yeah.
on the left. Every single thing that they argue is exactly contrary to how they were arguing either 6 months ago or a year and a half ago, or they curse the right for doing something, whatever that thing is, when they're just as guilty of it
Oh, they're more guilty of it.
or more guilty of it.
Like,
yeah.
but the thing is, they're cursing the right for what they're doing when the right's not guilty at all. But the left is completely guilty of something probably more egregious. I just use it. I feel good about myself.
Egregious.
That was a good word. Write it down.
Can you say that in British dialogue, British accent?
Egregious.
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 Something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like
All right. Something.
but I want to point.
Egregious.
I want to point this little hypocrisy out because this is actually known. It's documented. There's only been one president that his ancestors. Man, I went from British to complete redneck. His ancestors.
I didn't say it. You said it.
I'll say it.
Don't get upset at me.
Right. That was his ancestors. There's only been one president, one out of all the presidents that we've had that didn't own slaves and doesn't come from a lineage of people who own slaves. In other words, his ancestors didn't own slaves. Can you guess who it is?
Trump.
It is Trump.
That's Trump. Yeah, I believe it.
And with that in mind, that means Obama has ancestors that own slaves.
I would need proof of that.
Let's go ahead. Let's since I made that comment, let's just go ahead.
Yeah, that's a pretty bold statement. I would need proof of that.
Yo, chat. I know there's this thing out there that's going around the ether of there's only one president out there that his what do you call it? His ancestors didn't own slaves, and I know that's Trump. Isn't it true that if that's true, that means Obama's ancestors owned slaves?
So this is one of those bits of historical trivia that gets kind of twisted around a lot. The claim that President Trump is the only president whose ancestors never owned slaves isn't historically accurate. In fact, many presidents after the Civil War, especially modern presidents, didn't have direct ancestors who were slave owners. So it's not unique to Trump at all. As for President Obama,
maybe it's within the past 20 years. That's what it was.
Some genealogists did find evidence of distant ancestors who were involved in slavery, which is actually not that unusual for families with deep American roots. But that's really more of a historical footnote than anything significant.
Oh, that's interesting.
So the idea that Trump is the only president in that category isn't really accurate, and the detail about Obama is just a piece of complex family history.
Okay, actually, maybe I got it wrong. Maybe it's actually in the past 20 years, Trump is the only one that had an ancestry that didn't own slaves when it comes to being president.
I don't think the answer is going to be any different.
Yeah, I get what you're aiming at. The tricky thing is that most recent presidents in the past couple of decades have pretty diverse and well-documented family backgrounds. And for a lot of them, it's not that straightforward to say no one in their lineage ever had a big connection to slavery. Some have had ancestors that did, some didn't, and for many, it's just never been a big point of focus. So it's probably one of those oversimplified claims that pops up, but doesn't really hold water when you dig into the details. In short, it's not really a clear-cut fact.
Are you telling me the truth, or are you limited to what you can actually tell me?
I'm definitely telling you the truth as best as I can. There's no hidden filter here when it comes to history or facts. I'll just give you what I know or what's generally supported. Of course, some historical details can be nuanced or debated, but I'm here to give you as accurate and open an answer as possible. So if you ever have doubts, feel free to ask, and I'll do my best to clarify.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so he's British. I mean, what does he know about
He's British.
American slavery? Yeah, what does he know?
Well,
I would be shocked if more than 3 presidents since 1920 had anything to do with slavery.
Yeah.
The reason I say that is because, well, no, wait, I take that back. Any Republican presidents. Because when you go back to the Civil War, see, the Civil War, the whole black, and this is leading up to the reparations argument.
okay.
Race and slavery has been programmed into our brains for us to believe that it is a white-black issue, but it's not. There were more white people who didn't own slaves, and there was a faction of slave owners who were black. So it's not a white-black. It is a Democrat-Republican issue.
Yeah.
Democrats, and this is universal.
Yeah.
I did some research on this. If you want me to bore you, I will go into it with you.
I think I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about who actually fought to abolish slavery and who fought to keep it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
if you think about it,
Talk about the parties.
President Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know he was not only the first Republican president that had ever existed in the United States, he was the first Republican president in the world. Like, there was no Republican Party before Abraham Lincoln, except for John Freeman, who ran before he did but lost. and was the first
Yeah.
launching the Republican Party.
Do you know who started the Republican Party?
I mean, the Whigs. The Whigs sort of dissolved and became the
Oh,
Republican
no, it's
Party.
black people. Black people started the Republican Party.
Probably.
Yeah.
I believe you're probably right. I bet
Yeah.
you they had something to do with it, especially the blacks up north.
Mm-hmm. You
You're
know who
correct.
started the KKK?
Yeah, of course, the Democrats. The
Democrats.
day after the Civil War. Yeah. But along those same lines, y'all, this is interesting. I find this very interesting, all right? The day that the first Republican president ever got nominated for the presidency, within 90 days, within 3 months of that, 9 of the southern states, all Democrat ran seceded. They seceded from the Union. They didn't want to have anything to do with the United States. And within the next 4 to 6 months, the other 3 or 4 states seceded. So so what does that tell you right there about how the Republicans have always fought, either politically or militarily, to protect blacks, and the Democrats have always fought either militarily or politically to.
That's a good point, Nick.
Yeah, it's the way it goes.
That's a really, really good point, because it's not the Democrats
That's history.
fighting. I know, that's history. It's not the Democrats who are fighting for the black people or against slavery. It's always been the Republicans.
Yeah.
And I can't name a president in the past who has done more for the black community than President Trump. And I saw a video, like, these people that go up to black people or go up to any people on the streets, and they just ask them questions.
Street interview.
This one girl, she goes up to this black guy, he has long dreads, and she's like, so, are you okay with President Trump running for a 3rd term? And he's like, man, I love that white man. I want him to be the dictator of the United States. And I'm like, I love that white dude.
Well, you see that all the time.
That guy gets it.
You see that all the time. But my point is this. So, back to reparations. Should white people pay black people for slavery? No. Only the party that's responsible for slavery. The Democrats should, and I'm not talking about white Republican voters. I'm saying you create a pool of tax dollars that come from.
You're registered as a Democrat,
registered
and you're a white person, and you have to pay the reparations.
You got to pay
the
into
black
that
people.
pool, pay reparations.
I am so for that.
People
will be leaving in droves from the Democratic Party if they actually know what they're paying.
Absolutely. And how dare they say, no, I won't do that. They have to do it. It's their own argument.
Like, if they're arguing that, then yeah, you're a white person. You're from the Democratic Party who started slavery, who fought for slavery.
Yeah.
Not fought against slavery, but fought for
slavery. They wanted to keep their slaves.
They wanted to keep it.
Yeah.
So,
and they hid behind states' rights. When anybody says the Civil War was about states' rights, lie. It was about slavery. But here's the other thing. Here's the other part of that. So that's white people, Democrats, paying reparations to black Americans for slavery.
Sure.
Let's consider the black Americans now.
Oh gosh.
So you got just like you got 2 groups of white people, you got 2 groups of black people. You got black liberals and black conservatives. The black conservatives, I'll bet you they're not going to be on board with this. They're going to say, no, we don't want reparation.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't say that. Yeah, I would say that they wouldn't be on board with that.
Yeah, they wouldn't want it. They would consider it an insult, probably.
Yeah.
But black liberals, are black liberals going to accept reparations? Because if they do, Nick, they just lost their identity. Because as soon as they start getting paid reparations, I don't want to hear another word about racism. I don't want to hear another word about slavery, white supremacy, how unfortunate you are to be in America, how oppressed you are. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
And that would end the conversation right there.
But the thing is, it wouldn't. They would want more.
Oh, of course.
Like, they would keep going. It's like, no, this isn't enough, because with Democrats, it's never enough.
Of course. Yeah.
They can get everything they want, and they'll be like, no, it's never enough. By the way, if the Democrats really want to censor people like they always want to, because TikTok is a liberal platform and they censor people all the time, you can look at the UK and see your future.
Oh, yeah.
Just with this whole Zohran and Mamdani thing out in New York City.
Yeah.
He would lead you down a path that the UK is currently facing right now. Like, they just arrested 12,000 people for
Dude, I heard about that.
For posting.
Yeah. Yeah.
For posting. I want to keep saying it until someone freaks out. For posting.
No, yeah.
They arrested someone for posting. Anyway, not only that, but they're also starting to arrest people for praying in their head. They were already arresting people for praying out loud.
Like standing outside abortion
centers, abortion clinic, and they praying in their head, silently praying. They're arresting people for that now. Like, this is what the UK has turned into. And guess what? The UK has more than any other country, which is a Muslim presence,
Mm-hmm.
not just Muslim people living there, but people in power.
Oh,
are Muslim.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And
so
that's
they're
new.
implementing the Muslim way,
Mm-hmm.
which is very dangerous, which that's what's starting when it comes to this whole Zohar Mandani thing. And I love how Ben Shapiro just rips him up, dude. Like, he says, this guy doesn't have any kind of accolades to his name. I don't know how he's got the majority vote right now. Like, it doesn't make any sense to him.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Ben Shapiro's the best at that.
Oh, dude.
He's awesome.
He can debunk. And the thing is, he's Jewish, but yet he'll fight for the reason why we have morals in our society as the West is because of the Bible. And he'll defend the Bible in that sense, even though he doesn't believe in that Jesus is the Messiah.
Yeah.
It's quite astonishing in a good way whenever you see Ben Shapiro do something.
No, I've seen him do it. Yeah, I mean he's a master at it.
Yeah, dude, we talked off the cuff today, bro. That
I felt good, man. I'm all fired up. I came in here all tired.
Dude,
I'm ready to go run for office, man. Let's go.
Bro, I actually had that thought of what if you and I ran for the same position. We ran against each other, but then when one of us won, the other person becomes the
became the vice.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter who won, and we still had our podcast.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome. You know what I think we should do? I think we should both run for the Republican seat for whatever the wherever Jasmine Crockett is. For her. Couple
that
of
would be awesome, dude. I'd love that.
And I guarantee you, we could probably get a voter or voting people.
Well, you know, with the redistricting going on, I think she's not going to have a spot.
Well, I don't think it's that simple.
Yeah,
has to do,
probably not. But
even though the redistricting is happening, she's not going to necessarily lose her spot. I think there's going to be people who can step up and take her spot from her. In other words, vote her out.
Yeah,
if I understand it correctly.
Yeah,
I don't want to ask ChatGPT because he's been proving me wrong a lot, and I don't like being proven wrong. But I will say something like this: when it comes to Jasmine Crockett, this will be the last thing we talk about. We've got not necessarily make it quick, but because I have to pee. She said something stupid one time.
Oh no, she says something stupid.
I'm glad you agree with me because this is the thing you said that you actually agree with her on. When it comes to, see if I can word this correctly. Just because they commit a crime, or no, she said police officers are not there to prevent crime.
Yeah.
And you said you agree with that.
I agree that
I know you're probably regretting saying that.
You cannot prevent a crime from happening
without.
Let me finish talking, dude.
I'm sorry.
You see my mouth moving? This is me talking. This happens all the time.
It does.
So, you know, this is a great concept to argue, actually, because what is the law and how does it work to prevent crime? It's a philosophical human topic to discuss and analyze and break down. Because when you talk about crime without context, then you start adding context, arguments change.
You're doing you're losing me. Like, get to it.
Get your nappy in, get your little blankie and your sippy cup.
Get to the point.
It's nappy nap time. Okay, Nick? So there's no way to prevent a crime from happening before it happens without invading somebody's rights.
Yeah.
Okay? You can't just pull people over or cuff them and throw them in a squad car because they're going to commit a crime. You can't do that. Now, to your point, a police presence will prevent people from thinking, hey, I want to go rob that store, or hey, I want to go do that.
Which is preventing crime.
That's okay. That's not preventing crime in a, what's the word? You're
trying to say you're right and I'm right at the same time, which that's not what she was.
Well, you need to define the terms in which you say. Well, okay, she needs to define the terms in which she says cops can't prevent crime.
But she's a Democrat trying to speak against.
Yeah, and I hate agreeing with her. But
the thing is, I don't think you
semantically. Well,
because you could probably disagree with her just because she's a Democrat and she doesn't know what she's talking about. So whenever it comes to police do prevent crimes because it happens all the time, which you just admitted.
Well, yeah, I say yes, of course. But I think she is talking about police. She's disparaging police when she says that. When I hear that, though, I'm not thinking about police. I'm thinking about the law and what it is.
Yeah.
You can't prevent crimes from happening before they happen.
Sure you can. You just admitted that you could.
You can. Well, that's not.
Because the police presence prevents that crime from happening.
If a tree falls in the woods,
yes, it still
does it make a sound?
It still makes a sound.
Right, right. Yeah, so I think more police, you have less crime.
I want to talk about this more, but we gotta end our time because we're approaching our.
You got to
hour.
pee. You got that tiny bladder. Got that little tiny
No,
bladder.
it's all because I took a protein shake right before I came here. Anyway, thank you guys for watching Nick's Right Podcast. We're going to plug our sponsors one more time. LIVV Audio, LIVV audio.com. Put in the code NRP. Patriot Mobile, get the best cell phone service out there.
As soon as I started to win a debate.
No, we'll talk about it next time.
Yeah, liveaudio.com, LIVV.
LIVV audio.com, NRP code, get your 10% discount. If you go to patriotmobile.com/NRP, get a free month on your service. You can actually choose what network you want to be on, or you can just go to patriotmobile.com and put in the code NRP, Nick's Right Podcast, and get your free month.
Boom and boom.
We didn't pray before we got started, so we're going to pray it out. Lord Jesus, thank you for this time. Thank you for great debate. Thank you for the ability to debate these issues. And thank you for leading us the way you have. Thank you for this new studio, and Corey for allowing us to come here to Discounted Rate. I ask that you would bless this business and bless our podcast, and may you be honored and glorified in everything we do and say. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.